We're here with turning into an annual event, the holiday live stream, which I should have probably planned better, but I was really busy today. I filmed six new Shark Tank episode video, Shark Tank videos today. So I was cranking out getting the work done, still putting in the effort here. And I want to be able to release some episodes over the next 2 weeks here as we wrap up the rest of the year with some phenomenal growth that we have here on the channel. Just reached 11,000 subscribers, which is absolutely like crazy to me, especially given how long it took to get to 10, and then we're already at 11, and we just keep it rolling here. Absolutely phenomenal to see the super community show up and be growing internationally all over. So let me know where you're at, where you're watching from. I only have about a half hour or so today to do this. The kids they're all baking cookies at my wife's grandparents' house. So I used the day to get a bunch of videos shot, and I wanted to do this video before they get back, before I had to go pick up dinner and they get back. And so I hope to be maybe doing some live streaming later tonight, but I figured I'd get this out of the way and we'd do some Q&A. So if you have any questions for me, the channel, whatever you got, open book here. This is your opportunity to get those questions answered. I have a bunch of questions. I wanted to do a AMA for my birthday back in September, and just time has just slipped away from me. But that's what we're here for. So, Locutus, good to see you. You have had a shave. You look younger and better. Thank you so much. I'm feeling younger and better. The mustache thing was fine. It was Movember. It's for a great cause to raise awareness about men's illnesses and stuff like that, and cancer. Plus, is it Bliss from the kids? I had an opportunity to have an afternoon to myself, and was like, you know what, I gotta get caught up, gotta shoot some videos, gotta get things rolling here with the channel as we steam towards the end of 2022, and hopefully, God willing, a better 2023. Still hopeful, but anything could happen, and we're working towards it. So first question I have up here. Now, if you have a question, just drop it in the comments below. Let us know where you're watching from in the super community. The first question I have here is from Core Position Training. I love your setup. Can you post the camera, mic, and how you have the blurred background in 2023? I will have your exact setup for my channel. Much props. So when it comes to the tech side of it, I am using a Sony a5100, which is not like, I think I got it for like $300 or something like that. I have other cameras here. This is a Sony A7 IV that I love, but I love shooting photos and video with it. I have a Sony S3, A7 S3 right here that I also enjoy using, but not as much as the A4 or A7 IV. Just because the A7 IV is better for photos, and I really have kind of been trying to take take more pictures than just video as of late, and this is great for video. So I keep it, even though I haven't used it a whole heck of a lot lately. I've debated selling it because of the value of the camera and the lack of me using it. And I always say, like, everything has to pay rent. But I've debated putting this camera up there as my main camera for shooting the videos here on the channel. But this just does such a great job. Now, the lens is a fairly pricey lens. I'm using a Sony 24mm G Master lens. It's f1.4. That's what you want to go for, the least f stops in the camera. So before, like some of my older videos, I was using this Zeiss lens. This zoom lens is a crop sensor lens. That the one I have up there is not a crop sensor. It's for full frame, so I could pop it on any of my cameras and utilize it there. But I throw it up on here because you get the nice blurry background at 1.4. I mean, technically it's like a 2.1 f2.1. This is an f4. So not as blurry. You'll see in some of my videos I've used this one, which is it's fine, and I usually swap it out when I'm going to use the 24 somewhere else, like on one of my other bodies. But yeah, so what else was there? So microphone is a Shure MV7. So the great thing about the Shure MV7 is, unlike the Shure SM7B that it's like modeled after, and I think has like the same type of capsule. This mic has the ability to have like a distance, so like I can put the mic out of frame. Like I have it here, like just out of frame, and still come through nice and clear. Versus like a Shure SM7B, you gotta have it like right next to your face to be able to get it to sound right. So it gives you an opportunity to oh man, my order's already ready. It wasn't supposed to be ready till 6 o'clock, and now so much, Here's a lesson for you. If you're going to have a scheduler on your website for food ordering, stick to the schedule. I put it at 6 o'clock for a reason, not for 5:20. So now I'm still like 15 plus minutes away from being able to go pick up the food, and the food's already ready to be picked up. Not great. Not good. So yeah, so that's the microphone that I use. That's the camera, the Sony A5100. You can get them, for like $300, maybe $400, depending on where you're at. Used, you just pop it in, and you just have to get a USB capture card. So I have a Camlink from Elgato. It's a 4K capture card, though I'm only capturing at 1080p right now because there's really no reason for 4K. And then I have a couple other 1080p capture cards. You can get them as cheap as like $15. The Camlink is like 100-ish to 120-ish. But I would say if you're going to hook it up to a computer or to a camera versus a computer, the other capture cards tend to put like other colors there that aren't really there. A couple of my videos that I did recently came through, and I ended up doing, I think it was in the last episode of Shark Tank recently. I did like 2 pitches and noticed like, man, my colors are like really weird. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to switch back to the Camlink, and much happier with the Camlink. So I personally think the Camlink is worth the extra money. If you have a PC or something else that you want to plug in, and the colors aren't as important as like your face, as your face, then you definitely can go with one of those cheaper options at like, $15, $20 and the like. The recap says, what's up, Joe? What's up, the recap? I'm sorry you declined my price. If you were I'm not sure which you're referring to. If you're the one that is, was it the supplements or something to that effect? I'm very sorry. It's nothing personal. It's just I don't really want to promote supplements here. It's really nothing personal, and you won't see me I'm promoting any supplements at all here on the channel. You might not see me promote anything except either my own books, my own products, services, and my conference that's coming up in September. So if you want to learn more about podcasting or content creation, I've been running the Independent Podcast Conference since 2014, the end of 2014. We've had 5 in-person events annually in September, and this September we're finally getting back to those annual in-person events. So I'm looking forward to that. Tickets are on sale now. Go to shopsuperjoe.com, scroll down, you'll see right in the middle. It's prices right now are $299 for your ticket, and that includes lunch. for both days. So which is pretty awesome. I would like to make it as accessible as possible, and including lunch enables everybody to get to eat and mingle and everything. So we it's one room. You come in and it's like being in my living room. You know, we're there for 2 days. We're learning. You're rubbing elbows with Hall of Fame podcasters and all kinds of people from literally all over the world have come to enjoy the event. So if you go to indiepodcon.com, you can go check it out there, or go to shoptrooperjoe.com to buy your ticket. It's held right outside of Philadelphia, about 15 minutes from the airport. So it's super convenient. Like, you land, get a cab. It's like 15 minutes right over the bridge and you're there. Or there might be a shuttle, maybe. I'm not 100% sure to the hotel, but you definitely can get a cab and Uber and be right there in about 15 minutes. So it's really, really convenient to the airport, and we have an amazing time. This year, we're looking for between 200 to 300 attendees. You're in one room, so you're learning with everybody. You're getting to meet all these people and interact. We do some exercises as well for content creators to learn how to think better, get creative in a pinch, and do things that just you don't get to do at other events, and you don't have to go into a bunch of we don't do breakout rooms and things like that. It's all there. So go to indiepodcon.com to check that out. And thank you, Locutus. I'm glad the mic is sounding good. I had it turned into the not so loud version at one point, the close talker version, but I moved it. I changed it back to the distance because I was looking at one of my videos that I recently did, and the volume was very low at one point when I wasn't talking as loud. So, this is way too big. Let me. Jam family, have you ever thought about during commercial breaks sharing products from your site, or is that not allowed? No, it absolutely is allowed. So in older videos, I did used to do breaks, pauses, where I would in the middle of the video, I would promote my if you wanted to work with me or get free one of the free guides that I offer, stuff like that. I cut a lot of those out, trying to get the retention percentage to go up in the video. And so the commercial breaks are only in 2 of the 4 pitches per episode. And the thing about that is when you promote things, I want to try to promote evergreen type things that push people to evergreen things, since these videos are up for quote unquote ever, and I want people to be able to go there and it's not just a limited time offer or something like that. Because if that was the case, I would probably cut it out of the video anyway. So a lot of those breaks I've cut out just so that I'm not repeating myself a whole lot. I try, I'll say if you as people binge watch the show or channel, it's I don't want to keep repeating as much of the same thing over and over and over again, and especially when it's a promotion. I know it's important and all that, but the fact of the matter is I'm here to help build the super community across the world, and we're doing that. And I think that is the key. That's really the key to all this, and me being able to continue to do this at a rate that doesn't burn me out and doesn't interfere with all the other projects and businesses that I'm operating. So always trying to and family stuff as well. So always trying to put it all together in a way that makes sense and keep it all making sense for me to do. So commercial breaks. There's always products in the background, right? So the super hat, you can go get it. I'm wearing, when it's not a holiday season, I'm wearing one of the shirts or the hoodies. Those are all available on the site. So that's always down there in the description. I just want to try to make it as, I don't know if subliminal is the right word, but just kind of integrated into the video versus let me stop and tell you about this. Because, I think that it just takes more time away from what people are there to do, to learn or watch Shark Tank. That's fine. I'm not hating on that. But you know, I want to make sure that I'm just being very intentional, especially when we're not talking about a live stream. Like I'm trying to be as intentional with the time as possible. So I think that's really important. It's important to me, at least. So yeah, product placement, product placement integrated into it. Like that's part of the hats and the clothes that I wear and things like that. The books. I used to have my book like back here. You'll see some of the videos where Sales Won't Save Your Business is sitting in the background. You know, yeah. One of the things I want to do though, as part of product placement for this upcoming January, is I was thinking about shooting a video for each day, because one of my first books I wrote was not Sales Won't Save Your Business. It was Joe Pardo's 31 Life-Changing Concepts, and so 31 days in the month, 31 life-changing concepts, and just talking about each of those concepts each day of the month in January. So I was thinking about shooting like a side series, basically, putting it out there and seeing who it helps. And you know, a book's still available for sale. You can get it on sale on my site or on Amazon, in print or in digital. And there's also a audiobook version out there. But yeah. Elam, good to see you. So far, you're the best, Joe. I just saw you live by chance. That's also happy that you're here. I hope that the holiday season has been treating you well. And I've been meaning to put your 10,000 subscriber comment at the end of a video, but it's very long, so I'm going to be putting it out there. It's very nice, and I appreciate the fact that you went out of your way to comment and wait until I hit that milestone for that. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, or great, I should say. And it's great to have you here in the live stream. Let me see here. What's the Locutus asked about the retention rate. So has the retention rate gone up? I would say that the retention overall has definitely moved in the right direction. It's so the thing is it doesn't. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear. I hope things are going well with your site that you started, and you shoot me an email. See what let's see what I can do to help promote you with that some more. So when it comes to the retention, so one of the things, one of the place markers here on YouTube, it's hard to, well, I guess if I go to analytics, I could pull up an individual video. But good, Alan. So what happens is the YouTube, you're trying to go like a straight line, even though it's always going to be like in the decline, because not everybody watches to the end of a video. And in my videos, I don't have like a straight like across. What I have is like there's a drop off, and then it's like a roller coaster ride. But what I'll say is that as the channel has grown and more people have come to watch and returning to the channel, the percentage in the drop, like the percentage of people watching while I'm speaking, has drastically gone up. So like what used to be like 20% of the people who watch, start the video are watching while I'm speaking, is going up. I want to say it's over, like last I checked on a popular video. Or, well, it's hard to tell, because like popular videos are tough because people are searching for those videos. So it's a little bit skewed in that regard. It's the average is definitely moving in the right direction. So like looking at this video, let me screen share this video. So this video shows the graph with, I don't know how many views it has 17,000 views, right? So with this, there's a bit of so this one's outperforming, I think because I let it play a little bit longer, But the thing is, you could see like depending on where you are in the video is, I mean, I'm not always talking in the same exact spot, so it's a little hard to tell. But you can see like 35%, and then it comes back up when the episode starts, still 32%, 31%, 28%, but there's still 50% of the people watching through the video. And I think one of the biggest things is watching this tail off at the end has actually gone up. You know, as I expect it will, right? As more people come in and continue to watch the channel and be a part, be a part and engage with the super community, I expect that percentage to continue to go, because it used to tail off like basically to 0%. And now it's like slowly but surely pushing itself up as more and more people watch the channel. And that's one of the key things. So, will there always be a drop off? Yeah, probably. Most likely there will always be a drop off of a certain percentage of people that just aren't going to watch at that point. So that's, which is fine. That doesn't bother me one bit, right? We're building a community person by person and relationship by relationship. Oh wow, my connection just dipped heavy there. So we're building those relationships. We're building that community person by person, and it's absolutely fine to me that isn't, it's not this like meteoric like rise of everything. So you just keep winning the battles, right? It's just like in your business, right? Like every day you're just got to win all the little battles that you can, control what you can control, and people will eventually come around. One of the key things that I've seen with the channel, if since we're on the topic, if I go to my audience, I think this is like some of the most telling thing. So just before I hit 10,000 subscribers, like probably like a week before I hit 10,000 subscribers in November, my returning viewers went from like 30,000, and it was like slowly petering down to about 25. Once I hit the 10,000 the 10,000 mark, the returning viewership has just gone like bonkers, like up to it doubled from that 25,000. So but if I go up to 90 days, that's just in the last 28 days. I mean, heck, in the last 7 days I've had 24,000 returning viewers, and I haven't published a new Shark Tank video since last Friday, which is just absolutely incredible, right? So you go to 90, and you can actually see like that's where it was like once I hit 10,000 subscribers, like right, I was on the 17th or 18th, it just took off, found like a new floor for itself, which is absolutely phenomenal. Look, here it says, I have various videos on my channel, and your retention rate is a lot better than mine, but I just upload random videos. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to find a format, get people used to that format, get the people used to certain, like certain pacings and things like that, so it becomes a little predictable. It becomes like more warm and home feely to them, like it just become like part of what they expect out of the channel. So, you can have different random videos, but if you're actively trying to like build that community, it's really important to get like a format down, and you might change that format as you go and evolve and changes and grows with you. But ultimately, I think that's the key to it, is figure out like what's your format going to be, and then really kind of hone into that. And you can kind of not tweak it, but like have some like choices in there that makes it feel like it's always kind of different. So it's not like the same, but I think that, people really kind of latch on to like predictability, and then you see that with TV shows and things of that nature. Look, here it says, I'm not trying to be anything on my channel. Well, that's fine. That's for the longest time my channel was not anything that resembled consistency. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and even now, like I definitely, there's people that ask like, oh, I'd love to come on your show and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, right now, like time is so tight that I don't really want to bring on anybody who doesn't fit that Shark Tank mold. Though I do have other videos and things I want to shoot. And I've been doing more gaming on the channel as well, because like I'm a gamer, and when I'm gaming, I can also answer questions and do things like that, and help the community in the process. So for me, I think it fits. Obviously, it's not for everybody. I know I got at least one comment when I was streaming. I don't know, one of the first times I was streaming just like a week ago, or at least somewhat consistently here. I said that said that they hate this, like, because they're not into gaming, and I get that, right? But it's hard for me to be able to craft the time to be in here and say not game, or be gaming with my kids, or something to that effect. It's just part of who I am and what I do. I've been gaming, PC gaming specifically since like 93, 94. So it's just something I love to do. Look here, it says I created a proper channel called MS Connect based on Microsoft. I have some videos on there. Oh, cool. I will have to go pull that up. Otto says, are you going to bring the Undercover Billionaire videos back, or new ones that must be a scared straight experience? Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay away from the Undercover Billionaire series. We don't need to go losing the channel over them. I took the other videos down. It kind of sucks, because I wanted to do each of the entrepreneurs from it once I got done Grant, but it's just not worth losing the channel over, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks. I'd like to do it. Though the one thing about those is like a lot of those videos took like an hour to shoot, and the retention on them wasn't really necessarily that great overall. That's always a problem, right? So one of the problems you end up having is, how do I split my time to make sure that I'm producing videos that are going to produce for the channel? That's always a big one to me, right? Is how do I do that? How do I create videos that are going to, push the channel further in the direction of getting more members in the community, supers in the community? And that's sometimes tough, because like there's things I would like to do. There's a lot of videos I would like to shoot that I have, notes for. But the time right now is just the biggest problem. Having two kids, be involved in a lot of different sports and activities and things, and me wanting to, be there with them, me being at the family business, from most of the day, during the daytime, is tough, makes it tough as well. So, it's just a lot of things like that it just makes it really tough to make a commitment to that. And I know, because I'd like to bring like the top with Super Joe Pardo back, like go and help business owners one-on-one in a video series, like I did here on the channel. You can see it if you go to the homepage of the channel, scroll down. There's the top with Super Joe Pardo video. Where's it at? Yeah, we doubled her sales in 6 months is the video right here. So this is from 2019. This is like the third cut of the video that I cut it down to 17 minutes. Originally it was, I want to say it was 30 some minutes or something to that effect. So I cut it down to like a YouTube cut. But like I could do it and it's great, but until the channel grows big enough to have a big enough dedicated audience to maybe have it go to them first and then maybe float that video out. I just don't, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's that the time investment is something that I don't think I can commit to like take a risk. And comparatively speaking, like I could go, take that many hours and pop in a couple of, Shark Tank YouTube, Shark Tank reaction videos, and I'm getting, thousands of views, tens of thousands of views in some cases, right? So it's like how do I justify all of the time and effort to go in to do that when I could shoot a video in 30 and have it up in 30 minutes or so, and boom, like I'm getting, thousands of views on that versus like, man, I took, days, for to shoot the video, time to shoot the video, find the person to shoot the video with, go and shoot the video with them, and then make it so that it's interesting enough, and edit the editing process can be way longer, is way longer, and then maybe it gets 1,000 views. 5,000, maybe 1,000 views, maybe if I'm lucky. I mean, yeah, I have the same conundrum when it comes to interviews. You see like some of these interviews, like 2,000 views, 1,500 views, 2,000 views, 600 views, 1,000 views. So, I love having these conversations with these entrepreneurs. I'm honored that they want to come on the channel, right? I love the discussions and the friendships and the relationships that I've been able to build from that. Like, that's all. Like, it literally means the world to me. But the time commitment to do it isn't over an hour. It's over an hour basically. And then if I have to edit it at all, that's even more time in it, right? So it's like, that's cool, but like in that time I could shoot like 2, maybe 3 short Shark Tank videos that get way more views and bring way more people to the channel. So I'm trying to balance, find the right balance, and always trying to balance that opportunity to speak with people versus shooting the stuff that brings more people to the channel and grows and ultimately will enable me to be able to do these longer form videos and like do these shoots with business owners and go in and help them, get my hands dirty with them. Locuta says, you have to do what is best for your family. Only you can decide what is best for your family. If you don't think YouTube isn't good for your family, that's okay. No, I do. I mean, the money is great, and I love the fact that I don't feel like I have to go and get sponsors and run that treadmill and all that. So I don't want to, like, I really don't want to go down that road. So having people support the channel, watching the videos, getting ad revenue, buying products from the shopsuperjoe.com and supporting my events like that, that's to me, that's the dream. Like, just focusing on those things and helping entrepreneurs in the process, right? And that's that to me is where it's at, is having that balance, combining it with how, with not or with eventually being able to do these bigger videos and pay other people to say do the editing and pay other people to make that happen, so I can just show up. So like, that'll all come in time. We're still in the early days here, very much the early days. Locutus, Otto says, I liked those videos, Joe, but you indeed must find a balance. Yeah, it is. I love doing the interviews, but again, committing the time is tough. Like, it's, I've gotten to the point where it's like Wednesdays, there's like one time slot on Wednesdays that's available. So, people are like, oh, I want to come on the show. I just was on Shark Tank. And I'm like, all right, maybe I can squeeze you in here, but like the default for them to select is like Wednesday evenings. And I can't open up any other days because I don't know, what extracurricular activities are going to come up once we get to past January. So I don't know, like maybe Wednesdays, maybe Wednesdays will become the new piano night or the new soccer night or the new whatever night, and then all of a sudden I'm having to go and cancel and move calls, and I hate doing that. I hate doing that to the people. I hate doing it from a time and an efficiency thing, because it just is another thing to have to do. But it does happen. So it's one of those things where you just gotta, I'm always working on the balance, and I have constant conversations with my wife about it. Like, what can we do? Like, I was even talking with her literally last night, about the idea of doing a dedicated game night where I bring on some friends and/or guest expert friends. And we just live stream a game and we talk business and answer questions and things like that. I think it might be Mondays. I'm not 100% sure, but that also is tentative to something not coming up and blocking Mondays from being my, my go-to night to do that. So, things were easier during the illness time, and it was also a lot easier before I had kids, or I had kids that were actively doing things with school and actively doing extracurriculars that I want to be there and be a part of. So makes it tough, but I promise you it's all, and that's even one of the reasons why, and I kind of mentioned this in a live stream the other night, about I have a Discord channel or Discord server. It's called the SB, the Super Business Community, and I wanted to start promoting it, but I actually am going to be pulling back on that thought, because just the time to create extra content, the time to, I'm a really slow reader, so for me, like going and having to read lines and lines of text would be really tough for me. And I think that the better way to do it is just to come in here into the community, live stream, answer questions, and just do it that way. So it's one less pressure on me to have to perform in another way that I just don't want to. I don't want to overcommit and ultimately fail or fail the community and the people that are in it. So I think that this is the best venue for that, at least for now, where I can jump in for like an hour. If I can get it to every night, whenever I can fit, whenever it makes the most sense is when you're going to find me here, most likely at night, like on the East Coast time. But yeah, I want to produce more. I was thinking about doing some live streams at lunchtime as well. I kind of experimenting with that. I got a camera, like an Elgato face cam at the shop. So I was thinking like at lunchtime I answer some questions and maybe go through some news articles and just catch up on what's going on in the world. I know I've been really behind on world events like really, really behind, both financially of events and world events and everything in between. So I'd like to bring some of that back, like the entrepreneurs back and things like that. But it's just tough because like every day I just don't know what's going to happen. Like I don't want to commit a dedicated time, basically, because it just isn't going to work. That just isn't going to work for me right now. And that's part of knowing the balance, knowing where I'm at and what I'm capable of accomplishing in that time. But yeah, so there was another question that came up. I do have to get going in a few minutes here. One of the questions that came up was, where is it? It was something to the effect of like, what would you tell your 21-year-old self if you could go back in time? And so what I've thought a lot about that question. I was supposed to shoot like a video. I still might shoot a video, but my short answer to that is just focus on like what really makes you happy. Like money is not the money is not gonna be what makes you happy, right? Like ultimately, like you can buy things and those things are cool. Like I'm into tech and that's one of the things that has always been, a passion of mine since I was a little kid. But ultimately, like, there's only, but I think it's important to know that, like, know it going in. So it's like, does this really spark my interest? Does this make me inspired? Does this make things easier for me? Instead of, worrying about things that like matter to other people that don't really matter to me. I think that would, is something that's really important, is to know like what really, gets you fired up and then go more for that than to worry about like, is it me that's worried about it or is it somebody else that's worried about it? Cause if it's somebody else, you just end up wasting money on it. And there's some other things I would say too, but I'll save that. I will try to shoot a video or just a live stream talking about that. Locutus says, how would an entrepreneur news go? So the entrepreneur news, I wasn't was something I did back in 2021. I did it for like 3 months. I was doing like 3 to 10 articles a day and chopping up the videos, trying to get people to come in based on those, those search results and stuff. And it's, for maybe it was the 3 months. I don't know. I did a lot of them. Ultimately, it didn't bring in the amount of people that it was supposed to, and I was going hoarse, just like going through all these articles every day and shooting like 5 to 10 minute videos constantly, and that just was not. It kind of burnt me out a little bit. So now that we have more people and I can get more organic things for and do it for the community rather than trying to do it just for search results, I think I would feel a lot better about it, and I don't have to put it in such a box of like news article and then giving my input. It could be a little more freer. I don't have to talk about everything. I don't have to go and search out topics to bring to the table. Like I was thinking it would be more like, hey, I'm on the live stream, like, all right, let's pull up the screen share and go find, like, let's go see what's going on, right? And just kind of go through that, because like reading the articles I think was really tough, like especially on my voice. Like I was constantly like feeling like I was losing my voice there when doing the entrepreneurs. So I don't want to get burnt out. Like I think it's really important to make sure that that's not going to happen. Let's see. Ellum says, please don't change your approach to streaming games. Do what you love and post what you enjoy, and those that value authenticity will stick around. Absolutely. Ellum says, my only comment is that you divide long interviews into several 10-minute videos so that they'll be easier to consume. So I want to bring on, and it's crazy, I'll get to you in a second, so just hang in there. I want to bring on my boy Matt, who has been on this channel a lot. He's been on the Dreamers podcast. If you go back to episode like a long time ago, he's done a lot of videos with me in the past. He's like a great like mirror for me to bounce ideas and things off of. He's also does a lot with video editing and like artwork and stuff. And I've been meaning to get him to do some like chunk down pieces of interviews and things like that. I just haven't had a chance to work, like really sit down and like be like, this is really what I want. So I will at some point. I just don't know when. Look here says you should look at the Friday Checkout. It's a weekly video about tech news that is about 10 minutes long. That format might be suitable for you. I love TechLinked. It's done by the by Linus Media Group, Linus Tech Tips. TechLinked is 3 days a week, and it's about 6 minutes long each. But there's a ton of work that goes into those. That ain't just, short. It just because it's 6 minutes long doesn't mean it takes 6 minutes to film. They write a whole script for it and everything, jokes, and all of that. But yeah, I will check out the Friday Checkout. I'm always looking for different tech news sites, because I don't read them like I used to. I used to read Gizmodo and Engadget and Mac Rumors, and there's a bunch of tech websites I used to frequent, but I just don't have the time at this point to go through them. So TechLink is great because it just gives me like the points, like the data points of what's going on, keeping the pulse on it. So it's crazy asking about what's your story with part of Fleet Solutions. It's a long story. It's more complicated than I can get right now because I need to go pick up food. I need to go pick up food for me and my wife for dinner tonight while we watch. Probably we're going to watch the Beauty and the Beast live event that ABC did back on, I think it was Thursday. That we actually watched Spirited that night instead of the Beauty and the Beast thing. We ended up not starting as soon as we wanted and ended up being running late. But Spirited was pretty good. I didn't care for the singing too much. I didn't really need to hear Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I mean, I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan to begin with, but I didn't really need to hear them singing because they're not like great voices for singing purposes. But it was enjoyable. It was a great take on the Charles Dickens Christmas Carol. And I would highly recommend checking it out, especially if you love like big, like fancy, spirit fingers. It was a lot of spirit fingers going on in that movie, in that musical. So I would definitely check it out. But as far as Pardo Fleet Solutions goes, I got the hat right here. It is it's like a reincarnate. It's like a I don't even. It's tough to explain in just a couple words, but basically, we run. If you go to pardos.net, you can check out all about it. We're a repair shop that's been around since the '60s. My great grandfather, my great uncle, and my grandfather were all a part of it. My great grandfather had been in trucking since I want to say like the early '50s, and or mid '50s, something like that. Anyway. That was called Pioneer Truck Sales, and my great uncle ended up being the one running that. While my grandfather split off in the early '80s, like in '81, starting up a Pardo Truck Parts company, selling the truck parts because it was tough. It was tough to get good parts service from when he was on the service side. So he started up the truck parts side. That blew up over the course of 35 years, 35 years, and that is where eventually my grandfather passed away. My dad took it over, and then that company was sold to a company called Fleet Pride, who's like the Walmart of truck parts. They're like a roll up. We were the largest independently owned truck parts company on the East Coast. Fleet Pride is like venture capitalists, like just constantly like rolling over money into selling it, and then add a few more million, hundreds of millions, and then sell it again. I think they're like a $2 billion company now. Anyway, my dad sold it in 2015. He was running a trucking company called Medway, he also had like a logistics or what's it called? Brokerage firm as well. So he brokering freight as well as running trucks and trailers. And then eventually that didn't really pan out because his expertise in logistics isn't great. And he ended up back at the repair shop, Pioneer, and he turned that into Pardo Fleet Solutions in 2017. And then I came back to the company because I left in 2014. I came back to work with him in 2018 to 2020. Worked in the background from 2020 until earlier this year, like April, when I decided to come back to help clean up some of the things that weren't quite being taken care of while I was hiatus due to my son's reactive airway disease, which he's still suffering from. I was under the impression that was over. It's not, unfortunately. We actually had to take him to the emergency room 2 weeks ago because his blood ox level was as low as like 86 at one point. So not great. And which is really a shame because I thought, he had been sick over the course of the 2 years, 2020 to 2022, but I guess maybe they were just allergies, or it just wasn't as bad. So he never needed a breathing treatment or anything like that from over the course of those 2 years. He also wasn't around a whole lot of people. So there's that. And then he got like really, really sick. And we ended up taking him, or I ended up taking him to the emergency room, but he was fine. They gave him a breathing treatment. There, and he was fine, just laying there in the bed watching Bluey. I think it's Bluey. It's called on the TV. But he's doing all right now. He just needs to learn to blow his nose more. It'd be really, when you're watching this in the future, Dom, blow your nose more. Learn to get better at that. Let's keep getting better at that. So I've been back in the company in the day-to-day operations since like April, and it's going really well. Things are moving. So it's what's neat about it is you kind of get your pulse on the economy because of all the trucks that are coming through, getting repairs, and for a while there the yard was over full, like trucks parked on top of truck. It was like that game, that puzzle game with like all the cars and trucks, and you're like trying to like move them all around to get the one car out of the parking lot. It was basically like that. It's definitely slowed down a little bit since then. So while the yard is still pretty much full, it's not over the top full like it was. So we'll see if that's how much more is because that's all plays into the economy part. So we'll see how that continues to roll going forward. But yeah, so I've been with the company. I started in part of Truck Parts when I was 6 years old. There's a whole video on this actually. If you go over to the live streams video and go back, it's crazy. If you go to the holiday live stream, my business history and the Super Community Holiday Party is there from last year, an hour and 38 minutes. So I do got to get going, unfortunately, to go pick up our dinner. And my wife, Melissa, and the kids will be back here soon-ish, probably in the next like 20, 30 minutes. So I want to get that so we can get it going. But yeah, check out that video. I actually go into like photos. I pull up old photos from the shop and things like that. But basically I've worked there starting when I was 6 years old, sweeping floors, counting inventory, putting stuff on shelves, and just doing general like warehousing things. Like obviously I was 6, so there's only so much that I could do, but I would spend entire days there. And mostly during the summer, because the shop is a bit far away. So when I would get out of school, there wasn't enough time for me to like get over there. Like I wasn't like down the street or anything to get over there. But yeah, go check that out. There's lots of pictures and stuff like that there and stories. But yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to have those experiences and the people that I've gotten to meet over the years, working in the company and growing. I mean, I was in the warehouse. I started doing the IT stuff when I was probably about 12 years old, give or take, maybe a little bit younger than that, maybe like between 10 and 12, building PCs and stuff like back in like 99, 98 and things of that nature. And then worked my way while I was still working in the warehouse during the summers. But, and then by the time I turned 17, I moved up from the warehouse, went up to work on the counter, selling parts, went sales positions, all while still, running all the IT stuff. So for me, like I mean, that was only just a piece. So because of the IT stuff, I got to work in all the different facets of the business as well. Working alongside HR, working alongside with the controllers that we've had over the years, and accounts payable, accounts receivable, and then eventually like working on the actual inventory algorithm that helped us like reduce our inventory footprint from like 5 to 6 million down to 2.5 to 3 million, and increased our ROI in the process. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stories in there. Go check out that video. It only has 289 views. It's sad. That's sad. But I should refer more people to that video. But it's weird because it's a holiday video, so it doesn't always seem fit when it's not the holidays. But says, thanks for the live, Joe. Your videos always leave me with some valuable food for thought. I'm so happy to hear that. That's what we're here for, to learn and to grow. I'm always learning, I'm always listening and learning as well. It's not just about me teaching. And that's part of being super, is always being open to learning and growing, right? Because if we're not learning, we're not growing. And if we're not growing, then we are dying. And that is not what, that's not what's inside of me to want for both me and the people around me. And that's what it comes down to when it comes to being super. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I've literally eaten nothing except some G Fuel today, for better, for worse. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season if you're watching this, and I hope you all enjoy and get to spend time with family, whether in person or virtually, whatever works for you. I don't blame you. As we've continued to mostly dodge bullets here with my son. Hopefully that continues so we don't end up back in the hospital, because that really sucked. Spending 6 hours sitting in a chair across from him. But anyway, I hope you all have an amazing night. Go be super. Go help someone else. And if this video or any other video helped you, please feel free to share it with someone that you know will get something out of it as well. Locutus, thank you so much. Eco, get it. Thank you for being here. It's crazy. Thank you for watching. I am Chazdish. Thank you for being here. Otto, thank you for being here as well. Elam and the recap. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream. I got 6 videos coming up. Like in the next, probably Monday, I'll drop the first of the 6 new videos. Take